In order to find out where the treasure might be buried far below ground, the team is trying to locate a flood tunnel and follow it back to the money pit area. They are searching for something that was constructed by humans, and they currently find a board at the water level. They are interested in learning who constructed this structure. A board is discovered at the water level, and researchers or original depositors are searching for something that is out of place in the area. They are searching for anything unusual in the area, and they are searching for something that is out of place despite the current circumstances. Before they begin excavation, they will seize a large board that has been discovered. There is also a beam that is thicker than it is here, but not uniformly thick. With the various blends, Emma will be immensely useful in defining a decade or decades. It is thrilling to think that something here might speak eloquently to what happened here. If the team can confirm that this concrete was made in the 1960s, it would probably mean that it was made by the rest of the family. Their efforts to find the alleged flood tunnel that feeds seawater into the money pit could soon pay off. The team discovers a huge beam that is evidence of work done by human hands and could represent previously unknown work. Later that afternoon, Craig Tester and Mary Lagena join them in the war room via video conference. In order to solve the mystery for everyone who has come before them, Rick Lagena and the other team members are working to locate a flood tunnel in the money pit area. They are also searching the area for anything unusual, and they are eager to see what they discover. Arco-metallist. At Smith's Cove, Emma Culligan recently found enormous slabs of concrete that were made of a straightforward cement mix. When the concrete was examined with an X-ray diffraction equipment, XRD, it was shown to contain a Portlandite trace, placing it in the Portland cement group. Portland cement is the most widely used type of cement in contemporary building, frequently combined with water, sand, and gravel. In Canada, Portlandite is found in just 2 places. All aggregates, sand, in Quebec and BC are probably, because it lacks a modern concrete mix, Nova Scotia, a place in Quebec, began hydraulic mining in the 1920s. This cement is hydraulically mined, and it is unlikely to be anything after 1,900 advertisements. Because it directly affected the water flow, the Restalls believed that the location to block off the flood tunnel was the reason they sought to cement it. The vertical shafts finding at Smith's Cove attest to the existence of the flood tunnel system and the placement of the Restalls. When Craig Tester, Rick Lagena, and Scott Barlow arrived to examine the possibly historic discovery, they discovered rocks that seemed to be beneath the boards. Billy discovered that every rock touched a rock the size of his fist underneath. Craig thinks that these boulders are man-made since they exhibit a linearity that Mother Nature does not. If the flood tunnel's position is verified, the original line should be projected someplace along that line. The money pit. The only thing left to do is to carry on excavating. On Lot 5, Peter Fornetti and metal detection specialist Gary Drayton are looking through the remains of a mysterious rounded stone foundation. They have found priceless 17th century Venetian trade beads, mortar-like material that matches soils recovered from over 100 feet. Deep in the money pit area, and iron tools that have been scientifically linked to Sir William Phipps, a 17th century English politician and officer, who is thought to have buried a massive hoard of Spanish silver on Oak Island in 1687. One of the artifacts found on Lot 5 could play a crucial role in the story on Oak Island, as a copper belt plate was found that may be related to the iron tools found in the nearby foundation. The Oak Island team found a copper plate in the spoils from the round feature on Lot 5. Archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan examined the artifact using the SkySkin 1273 CT scanner and X-ray fluorescent spectrometer to determine its composition, which could help determine when it was created. Later that morning, Craig and other team members meet with blacksmithing expert Carmen Liga, who has come to examine the mysterious copper plate. If the plate has any military insignia or regimental numbers, it could tell us who created the feature and possibly buried valuables in the money pit. The copper alloy, which is made up of copper, zinc, iron, lead, and arsenic, is thought to have existed for more than a century before the money pit was discovered. The team thinks that Sir William Phipps, who found the Concepion in 1687, may have been on Lot 5 doing something that many people are familiar with. Some of the treasure from the conception was hidden to Oak Island thanks to the work of 32-degree Freemason Scott Clark. The team has identified a prime suspect who could have been responsible for the 30-year-old mystery. After recovering more than 34 tons of the valuables from the renowned Spanish treasure wreck known as the Concepion, which sank off the coast of the Dominican Republic in 1641, Sir William Phips, an English politician and naval captain, returned to the wreck with the assistance of Captain Andrew Belcher, a Freemason, who brought less than 5 more tons of treasure to the English crown. Phips made 2 successful salvages of the Concepcion in 1687. Clark is adamant that Baylor and his associates were moving valuables from the Concepcion to the Oak Island region. In addition to explaining who built the vault in the swamp where former landowner Anthony Graves may have found a cache of Spanish silver, if the team can demonstrate that Sir William Phips and Andrew Belcher are related to the rounded feature on Lot 5, it may also reveal who made the Eye of the Swamp as a covert calling card. Although there is still more work to be done, the team admits that discovering other vaults in the marsh or on Lot 5 could be evidence. These vaults could contain a small portion of the treasure. Specialist in metal detection Gary Drayton and Alex Lagena, his nephew, are looking for a further hints to unravel the enigma of Oak Island. The team has recently recovered metal ship spikes in the area that predate the discovery of the Money Pit in 1795, as well as a 14th century lead cross, which may be connected to the Christian military order of the Knights Templar. The team is excited about the potential of the artifacts trapped under the giant rock in Smith's Cove. They need to dig quickly, because the rocks keep filling back in, making it difficult to find them. They decide to bring more shovels and expand the hole to dig out the artifacts at the depth of the hole. They discover a large, heavily encrusted metal object beneath the shoreline of Smith's Cove. The object is believed to be a big iron conglomerate coming off a wreck. Archaeologist Lar Niban and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan have been analyzing the large iron object and have successfully removed corroded materials from its surface. The object is found to be a cast iron stove door, with the starburst design similar to the button found in 2023 in the stone feature on Lot 5. Gary wonders if these items are connected because the stove door's starburst shape might have been a common stove design in the past. According to Emma, cast iron stoves can be traced back to the middle of the 18th century, but their manganese content places them closer to the middle of the 19th century. To come closer to unraveling the mystery of Oak Island, the team must learn the stove's design. They are enthusiastic about the relic's potential. The Oak Island team is committed to working with archaeologists to solve the riddle of the enigmatic objects, despite the difficulties they encounter when excavating further into the hole. Larnien and Emma Culligan want to figure out how the stove door was made and how it relates to the medieval button discovered in 20123. The plot centers on a group of researchers at Smith's Cove who are looking for the fabled flood tunnel, thought to have fed seawater into the original Money Pit. The team is led by Craig Tester and Rick Lagena, and they are in the area where the restalls placed wooden forms down the hole, but their forms blew out and they lost the hole. They are discovering metal and wood detectors that they think may be evidence of the shaft's construction, as well as a modern nail that they think is the restall shaft. This modern nail may provide a crucial hint that the team is getting close to discovering the wooden frame or forms constructed by the Restall family in 1961 when they poured concrete into the vertical shaft. As they continue their excavation in Smith's Cove, they discover remnants of the Restall's operations, like a broken spike and a rounded beveled point. If they are able to confirm the location of the vertical shaft, they should be able to locate the flood tunnel itself, which is a direct connection to the treasure. The next 5 to 10 feet will provide more details regarding the location of the Money Pit in Smith's Cove. The team is committed to digging and finding clues to the Money Pit location.
Treasure hunters are allowed to legally keep 90% of any wealth they uncover, according to a government rule. Marty goes on to suggest that it is very likely that multiple claimants would surface and argue that they had a right to the treasure's contents if a sizable treasure were found on Oak Island. These claimants may rely on some element of their residence, their ancestry, or another factor to support their claims. There will undoubtedly be a lot of people trying to get their hands on at least some of the fabled riches, but it is impossible to say who, if anyone, will be successful. The Lagena brothers and the government would both have legitimate rights over at least some share of the treasure, making them the obvious choice for at least 2 recipients. However, it is impossible to predict if a situation like this would ever happen in. Researchers discover a key clue to the enigma of the Money Pit. It appears that the study team has at last discovered a clue to the treasure hidden in the Money Pit, after spending many long and exhausting hours looking. On Lot 13, which is situated just northeast of the marsh. Rick Lagena, Tom Nolan, another landowner on Oak Island, and the other team members are getting ready to start another excavation. They are searching for significant proof. Although clay was found, it was rather obvious that it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. They speculated that it might be a blue clay of some sort. When exploring an unusual rock formation known as the Quadrilateral, Rick Lagena and the rest of the team recently discovered what may prove to be a crucial clue to the Money Pit mystery. At a depth of 40 feet, researchers started the first serious excavation of the ancient Money Pit in the year 1804. They found a layer of blue clay there at that depth, acting as a sealant to keep water out of the hole. Curiously, the researchers found the same substance in 2018 while looking at a ring-shaped stone monument called the Eye of the Swamp. Is it conceivable that the crew has now found proof that the Quadrilateral was made by the same people who altered the swamp and built the Money Pit? If that's the case, it's a really intriguing development. If that makes sense, it somewhat reminded them of what they had seen in the Money Pit. Blue clay plays a significant role in the tale of the Money Pit's discovery and history. If you were attempting to keep water out of some sort of underground structure, would you be able to make use of that? It's possible that Rick Lagena's theory, according to which the presence of blue clay points to the potential existence of a structure buried below, is true. If so, what kind of structure could it be? And could anything of outstanding value be inside? The following morning, Rick Lagena and other crew members returned to Lot 13 so that geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner could look into the enigmatic quadrilateral feature that was providing a crucial clue to the Money Pit riddle. They felt that it was somewhat improbable that it could have spontaneously accumulated there. Additionally, they saw clay in a variety of colors combined with pieces of burned wood. These two items in no way, shape, or form go together. One of the group members remarked that the clay appeared to be split up and misplaced. There was an event that had a meaningful purpose and took place. There truly must be a reason for everything that happened since the story is so complicated. There was one little spot that had gotten a little worse. There were striations all over the metal, marking it. The thinness of the points gave the impression that they were made to be pushed into wood. Are you looking for a hand-forged iron staple or fastener? Since the 6th century BC, large metal staples have been employed often in the construction of both stone and wooden structures. Could this manually formed metal fastener be another proof that a structure of some kind is waiting to be revealed at the quadrilateral location? What kind of structure might it be in that situation, presuming the group has previously discovered blue clay, given that information? Anything that took place prior to the Money Pit's initial discovery has the potential to be considered original work. You will see that this so-called mainstay is actually rather puzzling when compared to the hard work that went into creating the Great Quadrilateral. What, if any, contributions does this facet make to the larger mystery? As of yet, nothing has been decided on that. Carmen Legg, a specialist in blacksmithing, meets with Rick and Marty Lagena, Craig Tester, and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan at the Oak Island Interpretive Center to study the massive metal staple that was discovered the previous day. Its starting point is a fantastic quadrilateral. Even though it was a strange geometric figure, they had no notion what the specific feature represented. They have found no others of its kind on the island before. There are now countless conjectures regarding the type of wealth that might be hidden on the island, as well as how it got there. However, the William Phipps theory has won over a lot of supporters and is supported by a lot of data. The theory was refuted by writer and history enthusiast Hammerson Peters in a recent video that was posted to his YouTube channel. The majority of the information presented in the movie is taken from the book Oak Island and Its Lost Treasure, which first made the strong case for the conspiracy. The Peters have proposed the following idea, which can be summed up as follows. During the 17th century, William Phipps was a skilled explorer, and the English supported him financially. The Protestant majority, including the political elite and aristocracy, developed a strong dislike for the Catholic king when King James II came to power in 1685. James II adhered to Catholicism, or to put it another way, they planned to depose him. The following stories are word-of-mouth legends from the late 18th century, because there is so little information about the early treasure-related operations that occurred on Oak Island. that has been objectively verified. It took many years after the incident before publishers began to pay attention to this kind of activity and look into the stories involved. The tale of a treasure found by a settler named Daniel McGinnis was published for the first time in 1857. This is the story's earliest known telling. After that, it was another 5 years before one of the purported original diggers gave a testimony regarding the initial narrative and subsequent Onslow and Truro Company deeds. The earliest settlers in the region heard tales of a dying crew member of Captain Kidd's ship. The man said that Captain Kidd had hidden £2 million worth of treasure on the island. Captain Kidd passed away in 1701. According to the most widely recognized version of the story, Daniel McGinnis came across a dip in the ground in 1799 while looking for a place to build a farm. McGinnis asked for help from other people.
Since 2006, Rick and Marty Lagena and their partners have been exploring Oak Island in an effort to find a unique treasure. They have also researched the work of treasurers. They were preceded by hunters such as Gilbert Heaton, who excavated the Hedden shaft in the 1930s. Heaton thought he was digging in the money pit, and they thought that by precisely pinpointing the shaft, excavating, and identifying the corners, they would find another clue that would help them locate the money pit. The Freemasons, who have taken part in attempts to solve the Oak Island mystery, are among the most fascinating groups interested in it. Freemasonry's beginnings can be traced to Europe in the 17th century, when brilliant thinkers and intellectuals established a covert organization to seek spiritual enlightenment. The Freemasons were a highly ritualistic group dedicated to improving men's lives, and they concealed their secrets through esoteric symbolism. Instead of merely vanishing from society, the Knights Templar, an old and covert institution, transformed into Freemasonry. Like the Freemasons who came before him, Gilbert Heaton may have fled to Oak Island because he was certain that Templar treasure was hidden there. One clue can be found in the actions Gilbert Heaton took when he concluded his search there in 1938. He never lost hope that something was buried there, but he ran into financial difficulties in his personal life that prevented him from continuing the hunt. At that time, he leased out his right to hunt for treasure to Professor Irwin Hamilton, a brother Mason who was probably aware of the lost treasure of the Knights Templar. Some researchers point to Hamilton's communications with another well-known Freemason who also had a keen interest in Oak Island. Overall, the mystery of Oak Island is still being investigated by researchers and Freemasons. The mystery surrounding Gilbert Heaton's discovery of the treasure of the Knights Temple is being intensively investigated by the Oak Island team. Since rediscovering the Hedden shaft, which they believe to be near the original money pit, Irwin Hamilton and Franklin Roosevelt's team have carried out additional excavations in the area. In 2020, they discovered an interesting artifact, a hand-forged rosehead spike that may have been made before the 1700s. This finding suggests that humans were engaged in some sort of activity long ago. The spike was noteworthy and deep in the money pit as well, since it resembled the mysterious artifacts in that it seemed to be encased in cement. The Oak Island team decided that they would have to continue digging close to the head and shaft after discovering something in 1897 that inspired Gilbert Heaton to dig in the same location. The team's objective is to locate D11, the center of the money pit, which is outside the Hedden shaft. 3 wells near this potential con location have tested for valuable metals through water testing. Craig's brother will stick with the money pit until he discovers the treasure because he is also interested in it. As a human being and participant in the quest for answers on Oak Island, Gilbert Heaton was immensely creative in his methods and was captivated by the idea that every action a person took may contribute to the mystery's resolution. HDN thought that each shovelful, bucketful, and metal detector ping was a step that would help unravel the enigma. Gary's nephew Alex is a master in metal detection. In the northern part of the swamp, Gary Drayton and Billy Gart are getting ready to start excavating near the enigmatic cobblestone road. They are near the coast and are aware that there has been a lot of activity there. They discover a log embedded north-south, large timbers running east-west, and rocks on top of one another. Dr. Spooner, who examined the paved area, stated that this is not typical in nature. Rick, his nephew Alex, and Drayton think that the answers in the swamp will confirm that this may have been a multi-generational attempt to hide something on Oak Island. Rick is excited for Tom to investigate the enigmatic wood and stone feature that was discovered only a day ago. The log, which is at least 14 feet long and rests beneath a massive root structure, Given how much work it takes to bring those large logs out here and the fascinating rocks in a row beneath Billy, Tom thinks it was most likely not done by them or their father. The first log that was discovered is well made and consists of two parts: platform logs that sit on top of the carry logs and carry logs that support the structure. Many of these logs are running in this direction, and there is another one there. The purpose of the purposeful layer of stones that Alex saw at the bottom of the dig is unknown, although it would be quite heavy. Elle finds it strange, but they now have enough for Dr. Spooner to provide a thorough assessment. They intend to invite Dr. Spooner in and collect organic samples that may be traced back in time to ascertain precisely what transpired here. In brief, the plot centers on Rick, his nephew Alex, Gary Drayton, a metal detection specialist, and Billy Gart, who are searching for clues regarding a mysterious cobblestone pathway in the swamp. They are eager to find out more about the enigmatic structure and the possible solutions it may contain. Because of its uncanny resemblance to the Masonic symbol known as the all-seeing eye, the Oak Island team named the mysterious circular formation they found in the triangle-shaped swamp the Eye of the Swamp. This is the first time they have ever found anything that points directly to the eye in a structure. The cores of Dr. Spooner reveal industrial activity. After examining biological materials, the team returning in 2019 looked into a puzzling circular formation in the triangle-shaped swamp and found a man-made formation of boulders they called the Eye of the Swamp. In the feature, Dr. Spooner gave the crew startling information regarding its probable creation date, which is thought to be between 1680 and 1700. After discovering iron tools in the round feature on Lot 5 that have been scientifically linked to William Phipps's birthplace, the team is now looking into